Actually, what had happened is the university did a front page article on me, and I got turned down by 3 of the top 4 accounting firms. Not just turned down, I was laughed at. And then on the 4th one, I walked in, and they happened to do that article that day, and he's sitting there reading it. My luck. Thank God for Bill Clinton. Thank God for Bill Clinton.
Absolutely crazy.
And so he puts the paper down, and he's like, this is you. I said, that is me.
Man, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, good, man.
You doing good?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Dude, this is great. I'm in your house, man. This is absolutely incredible. Can you just tell everybody where we're at right now?
Man, we're sitting on the 2nd floor of the #1 retail sportsbook in America.
Yes, sir.
Potawatomi Sportsbook. And, we built this facility and opened it up just a few months back. So you're sitting in one of the most innovative studios with one of the largest high-def tech-integrated screens and sportsbook experience in our eyes in the country.
Yes.
And that's the way Milwaukee likes to do things great. Well, we wanted to be right there with you in Milwaukee, and we wanted to show the world that we could bring world-class entertainment and show them that, sports betting has been moving across the United States.
100%.
Potawatomi wanted to be part of it, and we had to choose the right strategy and the right path, because there was a whole myriad of book there, and it was like choose your own adventure. And it started with trips to FanDuel and DraftKings, a lot of smiles, a lot of handshakes, and you should be with the best, you should take the best, why don't you be the best? So that's where this little journey started. So we're sitting up here, and this afterthought as we were building this mega deal was like, look, social's where it's at, sports betting's the new demographic. We want an asset that we can utilize to build our brand, to build something organic, as you have seen other successful companies. Some just started posting funny videos, and next thing you know, they're reeling, and they're getting likes, they're building brands, and you get things like Barstools pop up.
Right.
Right. Next thing you know, you got ESPN Bet.
Yep.
What is it going to be? Disney Plus Bet. Right.
Yep.
It continues to get out there. You need to get in front of it. And look, you come to Milwaukee, a lot of hype in this town. I'm not from Wisconsin. When I got here and didn't understand what this sports, championship mentality was about. And then all of a sudden, I come on the eve of the Bucks winning the championship, and there's this whole, Bucks and Peter Fagan and the turnaround. And
shout out Peter.
the turnaround, the build up, the hype. This is what's happening. You just get fired up.
For sure.
So, yeah, that's what we're doing. That's where we're sitting at. And this is just the beginning of what we hope to be a long road, an exciting road for local entertainers. We want something organic. We want to build something that Wisconsin's proud of, and that's what we're all about.
Yeah, this is definitely a statement piece. When I walked in here for the first time, I was like, dude, you're not going small. This is definitely a statement piece, and it's amazing, man. Also, it gives you energy. And I know you're an entertainment guy, which we're going to go into a lot of the conversation. Speaking of the entertainment, talk to me a little bit about the Amplified event with Snoop Dogg. Why, first of all?
Good question. So, look, city came together to host the RNC.
Yeah,
and RNC was bringing free talent to the city. They were looking for a place to host, to rent a place for the concert, and we had a lot. And I said, well, look, we can prepare that lot if the host committee is going to bring a $2 million act to the city. We want to make sure and do it right. We want to deliver. We want to make sure and be a part of that message. As Chevy and David and other city leaders out there, you would see, look, we want to bring big events to the city, and we got to get 100%. Our name out there, and this was an opportunity to do that. So we transformed that lot into an outdoor party spot for concert, all top security linked to the casino, and said, look, we're going to use it for one event for this host MKE. They were bringing Jason Aldean as part of the closing out event. This was our opportunity to utilize that for multiple concerts. So we're just like, man, we're going to go big or go home. We're going to come right out the gates. And luckily we were able to get on Snoop's plate, and he's like, I'm coming to Canada and I'll make the stop.
Yeah.
So we're like, all right, Snoop's coming through. We got it. We're going to open it up. And, we got a $200 million remodel that we're trying to show the city and everybody that hasn't been to the casino in a year.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
It's totally different.
Right? I mean,
it's totally different.
We tried to bring the best of the best to the backyard, and the talent that was behind designing this alongside with me and my team is is really jumps out of the book. I've only read things. This is my first CEO job, by the way.
Yeah,
I've been a CFO,
I did see that.
CPA
we'll get into that. We're gonna get into that. Yeah.
But no, back to Snoop, man. That's what it's about. We did this big remodel. We wanted to bring all the excitement and turn the heads of the city and do something that would surely get the party started. And we knew that would be lit, and it was absolutely exciting. Got our team ready. We delivered a great experience, and then secondly, it prepared us for that RNC event. Unfortunately,
for sure.
that was on the heels of an assassination attempt, and it was the highest security profile event that had ever occurred. And
that's what crossed my mind when I saw that. I was like, dude, because I've done a lot of events, and the security bill was probably crazy to just make sure that everything is good. Like, you got to double, triple up on security.
No, I mean, you're talking snipers and tactical vehicles and exit routes and everything that you can think of. And then, they locked our city down for 7-10 days. It was kind of tough for us out here on the skirts.
Oh, my goodness.
People trying to get out and go across the city and stuff like that. It's like, I don't know. It was tough. But at the end of the day, that's what Potawatomi Amplified was born from. We as a team seen an opportunity and said, look, we're going to make it happen. We couldn't have a better opportunity to promote our brand and to promote our new casino and to show that we live and love entertainment, man. And this room, what we're sitting in, was the Northern Lights Theater. This was a 500 intimate theater and entertainment experience. But as the market grew, as entertainment bloomed, the space became too small to do enough for all of our guests. So we had to find a pathway forward to go bigger and better, and showing that entertainment and casinos are hand in hand. We know that in the business. There's very few guaranteed winners. It's a winner. It's a winner. Like, a lot of things you can place your hat on in this business, and we could sit around and talk about how to run a casino and drive a business, but entertainment is hands down guaranteed winner, and you got to be able to do it right. So for us,
why do you think it's so big in today's society? Like, with really forever, entertainment has been the driver for people. I mean, for so long. What do you feel like about entertainment that people are trying to figure out or attach themselves with or experience?
It just goes across all generations, right? And it just crosses all lines. Your heart loves what your heart loves, and music is that way. So you don't know whatever flavor that you want to enjoy. It's out there. You listen to it. You can experience it. You want to see it. And our industry has always been set by good food, good gamble, and good entertainment. Right? Those are the three things that we do in the business. And so entertainment's always been there. It's just continued, I think, in today's world to expand more and more. And us being connected to a casino allows that experience to get elevated so that you get that full night out, from hotel to valet check-in to staying overnight to enjoying your show to getting ready for your show to coming back, change your show clothes for the after party, and go down and keep rolling through the night. So you get just that whole, and you get great food here. We've delivered on that, and that whole experience, I think, together really pushes entertainment. You see Fiserv doing it. You see the Brewers are doing it. They had, in fact, Sexy Red is supposed to stay at our hotel because she was doing the Brewers, and she heard about Snoop and all the service and the presidential suite, because he was in his Giannis jersey posting a "What's up" to Tupac on his birthday, going, "Man, happy birthday, Tupac." I'm like, that's our suite. That's the jersey I gave him. I gave him a Giannis jersey, and he was wearing it. And he posted it. So Small things.
You got
like,
a picture with him? You get a picture with Snoop?
I did.
Nice.
I did.
Nice.
It's in the our Potawatomi Amplified video.
Nice.
We actually had some custom shoes done.
Okay.
And got a picture with him and the Snoop and the Potawatomi Amplified shoes. Man, they were they were lit. He liked that.
Now I opened up for Snoop Dogg.
Is that
a
right?
long time ago? Yeah.
Come on.
When I was doing hip hop.
No way, man.
Yeah. It was actually at the rave.
Awesome.
Eagles Ballroom.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy experience. I only got to meet him for like a quick second because he was late to the event.
Gotcha.
Anyways, and then afterwards he was walking out, right, going to the tour bus, and then I was like, yo, Snoop, and it was a quick interaction. And he's like, dude, I see you do your thing, cuz, and then he just he walked
awesome,
out.
Man. Yeah,
crazy.
That was surreal for us and our employees.
Yeah,
that was probably everybody in this that works for this place was so pumped up, and you can't put a price on that.
Yeah,
you can't put a price on building pride and changing people's attitude and getting them excited. There's a lot of long-term employees here, so to be able to come up with this vision for a $200 million remodel and to see the employees who've been here for 20 years watching the same old floor working around heavy smoke and things like that. You don't see no smoke. You don't see you see floors that are, we challenge all of the casino operators to come see what we have done.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's a lot of great operators out there that I go and look to for inspiration. It's not hard. Not hard to go to the big shops, man. And, Hard Rock's been leading the way.
Hard Rock, yeah.
They've been leading the way with their boxes, and you can go to win. I like win, and I like putting yourselves up against the best of the best and say, how are they doing it? What are they doing? And how do we get there?
Yeah.
We all put our pants on one leg at a time.
Yeah.
Okay? And we got
100%.
And we can jump into that type of, I'll just say mindset. I'm seeing it on the back of your book.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. It's mindset and action. Those two kind of put me down to a T. We don't even need to finish the conversation. It's it. It's like 50% mindset, 50% action. If that's all I had to say of what got it done, that's it. And we could call it a wrap. But
that's cool. Is there a lot of camaraderie with other casino operators? Like, do people share ideas? Is there a kind of a unit or
It's funny you say that, because I when Hard Rock opened over here at Rockford, I was texting their executive team, hey, I'm outside. For the opening, can you let me in and come bring me in for a drink and let me watch you smash the guitar? I'm CEO. I kind of run that triple the size of your business down the street. I was just being nice.
Small.
And you know what? No reply. LinkedIn, no message, no hit back. It's been 3 weeks now. I'm like, hey, if you
really,
I was like, look, you come stay at my place. You come. Put you up in the hotel. It's camaraderie. Look, it's open to the entire public. I'm not hiding anything.
Right.
I'm not hiding. There's no secrets.
Dude.
Like, you can walk anywhere you want to go and see exactly what I'm doing. But can you do it?
Right.
So I was just being nice, but they didn't, not even a response, man.
Dude,
They
come
blacklisted me.
Come on.
Put me on
blacklisted
me. I'm done. They didn't respond or not. I mean, even after 3 weeks, you thought he would have said, hey, glad you stopped by. Sorry I didn't get you in. Because if you came by my place and you're at another competitor, I would bring you in.
Yeah.
It's open to the public. Maybe you'll lose some money. Maybe you'll buy a drink.
Right.
I don't know. But maybe I hurt their feelings. With what they did here. You running a
You might get a response after this. Who knows? They may see this and then,
It's like the Walmart superstore and then the Baby Dollar General out there in the country road, with the boxes in the back and the one employee. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got
big difference.
Move your stuff. I was like, maybe he thought I was, being, maybe I wasn't being authentic to him.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll let you play. I wasn't. If you're listening, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was admiring the hard work that you did because I know what it takes to open up a place like that.
It takes a lot.
I was going to shake your hand and say congratulations. This is a tough business.
Yeah.
We're regulated. We got handcuffs that other people don't, and it's tough to run. I was just gonna say congrats. So now you got it. You didn't want to hear it from me, but you will now.
Where did you get that competitive spirit?
Yeah, I think I naturally kind of grew up with it from I think it was pretty much from my father. Man, he was a U.S. Marine Corps, Vietnam vet, and a sniper. So as I grew
really?
up as a young
Okay,
kid,
yeah.
life lessons with him. I'd spend a lot of time with him outdoors as soon as I could walk. And around those type of veterans, they have a particular way when you go in the outdoors to prepare you for things. So it's not like a competitive nature, but it's a, there's dangerous situations, and we need to listen to each other, and we got to get on the same page. And those life lessons, I think, with my father in the outdoors, among many other things, had prepared me to do things right.
Yeah,
that was it. It was a sense of, we got to have a good plan. We're going into. I wasn't going into a dangerous situation. He might have told me to get out of bed. Ain't nobody shooting at you. I don't know what you're crying about. Get up, But
Was it tough love? Did you have a lot of tough love growing up?
A little bit. I could just the way we managed. The way when we get worked up in Vince. But that was all. I always understood that as. You got to do the things you don't want to do the things that you want to do.
Yeah.
And I stole that from Edward James Olmos when he came in here. That's what he was saying, and that resonated with me too. And that's kind of a lot of what you did. But I could tell, and now as I look back at him, those were life lessons.
For sure.
He was planning, and I know him now and what he was, and he's still alive. I just went home this weekend to see him for his birthday, and
nice.
Picked him up a home-cooked Mexican meal from the East Side, man, with homemade mole and rice and tortillas and carnitas, man, and loaded it up and drove all the way back to Kansas, picked it up, and brought it right to him, man.
Really?
Because he said, I want a mole for my birthday, and I said, that's all you got to say, Dad.
Dude, so family is very important to you.
Yeah, very much so. My dad was a elected tribal chairman of the Prairie Band Potawatomi Nation.
Wow.
So for me, I kind of came into gaming as a life pursuit because my dad had left his job at Hallmark Cards. He had worked his way up to being a supervisor and decided that he was going to risk everything, run for an election, and then when you get elected, it's a 4-year term, so he got to leave his comfortable job that takes care of the house and go into this politics.
Then, which ain't guaranteed either.
No, as soon as you're in, you're already rerunning, and you don't know what you could do. So he got into politics in the late 90s, and that's when the casinos started coming to the tribes.
Yeah.
And the casinos came to my tribe. I'm an enrolled member of the Prairie Band Potawatomi Nation. My father, again, elected chairman there and on council for 18 years. So all before the gaming, during the gaming, and now gaming continues to live on. So in Kansas, so I was kind of brought up around it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know if I was actually going to go into the business.
Right.
I had other pursuits as far as financial accounting and reporting. I don't know if I really had any pursuits. I was just trying to figure out life, man. Go to school. That's what
I was going to ask you, because your background's in accounting and bookkeeping, financial, that space. Even from your college degree and like everything, and then even working your way up, you continued in that, and then you kind of got into the gaming, entertainment space. Was that just by luck, or was it by, you just figuring out life and constantly changing your circle?
That's it. No, it's life. For me, and I think for a lot that share that story, you just want to find a way to make it to college. As individuals coming up in this type of circumstance, it was like, look, my grandfather didn't get to go to college. My dad was the first one in any of our family to ever go to college, and my mom didn't. My mom worked for the State Rehabilitation Services, your state worker office, for 37 years, man.
Wow.
Come out 18 and work for SRS doing food stamps and child welfare and protection and security at the front line for 37 years in the community. Never got a college degree, but was probably a PhD in that. And
for sure.
She'll tell you, I'm not a social worker, son. They had degrees. They really helped and made difference. I'm like, Mom, you 37 years you were here working with people in the city to take care of their needs at a most critical time when they need to eat or they need help, they need support, and it's obviously the last stop, and you're that person for 37 years, Mom.
Yeah.
So she always told us that we had it good. I could go to Payless and pick out any shoe I wanted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, I want the 2-strap.
So
I'm getting
always took care of you.
Yeah. I was blessed to have a mother and
Isn't
a
that
father
amazing?
and a good unit.
Like you come from a good family like that, and just the selflessness, to like just do that for your kids, and also to make it feel like everything's okay. But
right.
really it's not, like you're scraping by trying to get to the next, but growing up, because I kind of relate to that too, because like growing up, my dad got laid off a lot. Yeah. And it was more just bouncing around, especially 2008, 2009, market was kind of all over the place. And he was a marketing engineer. Okay. And so he was the first person to graduate college in my family as well.
That's great.
And also my uncle. But always growing up, no matter if he was like on a span where he didn't have a job for, let's say, 7 months, we still ate. Everything was still good. Christmas was still coming around, like those same kind of traditions. But then later on, I found out like it wasn't like as easy as I thought it was. It's just incredible, man.
I like how you said that, because it's, exactly how it was.
Yeah.
We didn't realize anything like that, or, but they made it safe home, and it was a great place. You could be creative and grow and be yourself, and tell you could be whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
Put your mind to it. There were no governors on that. There were no limitations. But there were real discussions about, son, there's a real glass ceiling out there.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to run into it. I provide a safe space, and you're around your family here and there, but just remember there are real ceilings. Know your enemies. Know who's going to help you. Know what doors might stay shut. Sometimes you kick them down. Other doors, look, I'm going to just move on. It's not even worth my time to kick that door
Right,
down.
right.
Not even worth my time. All I knew is that we were programmed early that no matter what you did or however it was going to go, you were going to go to college, and you were going to find a way to get there, and you were going to get the grades, and you were going to go to college. And the story after that, you do what you want to do. We ain't too worried about it. You're going to go down your path.
But that was the goal.
You got to get there.
Yeah.
You got to get there. So I actually started at Haskell Indian Nations University, and it's an all Native American university in Lawrence, Kansas.
Oh, wow.
Originally, back in the day, I was just talking to my dad this weekend, and my great-grandmother, Minnie Wawasik, was there as a Indian boarding school ran by priests. And they took you from the homes, and they forced you into the schools. You couldn't speak your language. Your hair was cut, and you learned the trades. Okay, and so they called this policy termination, for the tribes, and it was a federal policy. So can you imagine them coming to your house and taking the kids?
Yeah.
And my dad said they would be kicking and screaming, and he believes that there was a big gap in Indian country of the missing generation when they took all these kids and broke the family unit.
Yeah.
And it took my dad's generation and his parents to put that family unit back together, because when you take a family and you rip it apart.
Oh man.
Okay. It puts the parents in a lonely place, and a lot of them will spiral out. If you take your family, it's the only thing that you love, and you took it from them, and you can't do anything about it, and you're only allowed to visit them at certain times.
Yeah.
And that was a devastating link in Native history, where he just kind of calls it this missing generation, but they have bridged that gap, and then you see my generation coming back together as we make sure and look to restore the language and the traditions, and working with one another. All I know is that I've been around my traditional fireplace since I was a kid. I was pretty much raised Catholic until I got to about 14, 15, and my dad's like, look, we're going to go into our traditional ceremonies, and me and your mother said this, you choose what path you want to go.
Yeah.
We're going to teach you this side of life, and we're going to take you around why that fire for Potawatomi is everything that is sacred to us, and that's our sacred fireplace that we pray to and take care of, and learning what that is and what that represents. is a powerful thing. And then your relatives in that circle will have ceremonies, and they speak to you, and they encourage you, and they want you to do bigger and better things, and they want all that is great in life for you. And and so you get to and me, I just felt I don't know, you know, for me it was I felt stronger. I felt a closer connection. It was easier for me to be around that. But you know, I didn't live on the reservation, but I'd always go up as a kid. We'd always be up there hunting. I'd be around my grandmother. I was named around my traditional fireplace as a young kid, and to me it was normal. In fact, the first thing that I ever built, I was laughing, was actually a sweat lodge on the Potawatomi reservation. So here I am, you know, 35 years later, and I built this jankety sweat lodge on 126 and O Road. And my crew, my boys back home in the res, they watch, they know where that's at. And old Connie and Joe Lewis, man, and one of my little cousins and I was like, I don't know what. We went out and we were building a sweat lodge together out in the field and chopping our own wood up and tying things up and learning together and stuff. So, and here it is, you know, 35 years later, $200 million project that I believe, you know, pushes the industry,
how life
right?
works out.
So, I think interesting how that full circle come back. I started there around that fire, and here it is right here.
Right.
In fact, it's the pinnacle of my career.
Yeah.
And it happened like that for me, right? And so it, to me, it obviously was a path, and I've had spiritual leaders and elders along the way that have said certain things to me and said, like, you know, this is the path that you're supposed to be on. And when we say deja vu, you have that. For us, it means you are where you're supposed to be. So if you ever have that moment. And
it's happened. It's definitely happened,
Look, that's God right there.
He's calling. Direct.
So, good story, good background into leading. But I was traditionally going down, I'm a CPA, and believe it or not, I was on the board of directors of the AICPA.
Okay.
And out of all of the CPAs in the United States, there's a very select limited pool that get appointed to the board of directors of the entire AICPA, and I was able to achieve that through my profession and being a CFO, so you know, that in itself, I came this track through business accounting, and I knew one thing, that you needed to understand financials. You couldn't have anybody else tell you anything different. Because I knew early on, I was like, man, I needed to have control of that. I didn't really know why. Because I didn't know it. I didn't know debit from a credit. I was running my own small business out of college, and I had no idea what the hell I was doing.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was hustling.
What was it?
Indian jewelry. I was selling Indian jewelry to Indian casinos. And I started that. I won a national business plan competition.
Okay.
And then that's when I got chosen to go meet the president of the United States. And they flew me out, and we didn't get that story, but if you haven't seen my speech,
my goodness,
follow the YouTube link, and you'll see me hanging with President Clinton.
Yeah.
And he gets up there and talks about me, and I give a speech to introduce him to 100,000 people, and that's really cool. You'll have to. He got me.
I'll check it out for sure.
He got me my first job in accounting.
Okay.
At Ernst & Young. So.
Okay. So that's how that happened. That's
how. Okay. Well, I got that, and I was chosen to introduce him, and got sent to made CNN, USA Today, and all that big press.
Yeah.
Didn't know what to do with the 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
Didn't know what to do. I was broke, living in my parents' basement. Trying to sell some jewelry so I can pay my car insurance, and I got some books to buy. So I'm not feeling real presidential.
Right.
I'm just struggling. And
but you got to deliver.
Yeah.
You got to deliver.
And so eventually what had happened is the university did a front page article on me, and I got turned down by 3 of the top 4 accounting firms. Not just turned down, I was laughed at. And then on the 4th one, I walked in, and they happened to do that article that day, and he's sitting there reading it. My luck. Thank God for Bill Clinton. Thank God for Bill Clinton.
Absolutely crazy.
And so he puts the paper down, and he's like, "This is you." I said, "That is me." I said, what do you want to know?
And that's kind of what sealed the deal.
That sealed the deal for Ernst & Young, and I got one of the top public accounting firms, and he didn't even ask any questions.
Oh,
and he
my
was like,
God.
I was waiting for the next question. And go, what are you doing here? He goes, I'm sending you up to Kansas City. You made it through. You're going through
my God.
You made it through the final. So
what an amazing story. Like, that is it goes to, because we help a lot of people with their personal brand, right?
Okay.
And so, like, we work with influencer athletes, some celebrities, but also work with a lot of entrepreneurs, executives, and people that are trying to grow that, like, thought leadership and be able to get out there. But that story actually literally solidifies with building a personal brand. Now, at that time, you didn't know you were doing it, right? Because Bill Clinton invited you up there and you had that article, but because of that thought leadership and that positioning, it gave you an opportunity. Yeah. You know, when the other ones denied you, and like you even said, they laughed at you.
They did.
You know, where it's like all you were missing, and maybe it wasn't the skill set. It was just like, hey, can we trust them? Can we trust them to do the job? And that article, for whatever the grace of God, just put that right there when they're reading it. I mean, it's just such a crazy, crazy story. I mean,
and
because
then I get on one of the top boards of the entire profession, of the entire world.
Yeah.
And get appointed to it, but yet I wasn't good enough for an entry-level position in 3 accounting firm. So, you know, it goes to see the companies. How do you look at talent?
Yes.
Man? How do you really, you know, grow your company and look, but, you know, understand a person for who they are and what they have done and their challenges in life, and say, you know, is this somebody that, you know, is going to be great for us? And
100%.
You know, so I think you know, I challenge those individuals out there to really look behind the curtain and understand the people that are sitting across from you, so that you can really be your authentic self and find out who you really talking with.
Yeah,
you know? That's what it's about.
And the more you do that, too, you get to really discover potentially what their superpower is. And I think the greatest mentors and leaders, they can discover what people's, like, true skill sets and superpower is, and then really use that in a unique way in the business. You know, so sometimes you may have somebody in a position, but you find out, like, ooh, you're really good with people, though. You're real good with people. Actually, where you need to be is over here. And so sometimes people just aren't on the right seat. And it's just about figuring out that, but you got to be down to earth enough to just actually care about people and really figure out their story and who they are. And because sometimes they may not know what their superpower is. So I call it superpower. I'm the comic book guy.
I like it, man.
You know, but you got to find that out. And then that's how it's so easy to be able to place them after you know what their true gift is, what they can do. I got a question for you. Is it true that every CFO makes a good CEO?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very unique, so I haven't really met a lot of CPAs or CFOs like myself, but I would say that it provides a solid foundation for the business, but you got to bring it.
Yeah.
You know?
What's it? Define it if you can.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, but for the people listening and watching.
Yeah, and I think you allude to it with that superpower. You have to be able to bring the vision, to tell the story, to get individuals to believe around you. You know, and accounting, we don't. What I had learned is, may not be as, from an operational perspective, it's a little more stable. So we come from a little more stable environment. We want to walk in and say, look, I like you, man. I want to learn to work with you, and you're great in your position, and we'll, walk off into the sunset and make things great. But, the reality of it is all the sugarcoating of finding superpowers and making the right decision don't resonate with people in their jobs, man. You're going to get it. It's going to be, do not underestimate that people don't like change. Yeah. Okay.
We could talk all day about that
one. When you walk into it, you have, and that it is bringing a vision and knowing that if I can't get all the right people on the bus, then we got to make a change.
Yeah.
And you've got to get people around you that are going to believe in that vision, support the vision, and continue to develop themselves around you. So, and that's hard to do, but you can have your own executive meeting, and I think if you looked around the table and were honest with yourself, you're probably going to find things that unfortunately you just may not have the confidence or the support or the background to make a change that needs to be made in order to have the vision, because people have got to believe in it.
They have to believe. That's the first step.
I mean, you write it and you read about it and you read about change management, but until you walk into it and it hits you right in the face or hear these stories like you do to get out there and bring these to the forefront, it's super stressful. You have you care about the employees, you care about people, you want to do right by all of your stakeholders who believed in you to give you an opportunity, and that you have to be able to have that supporting cast around you.
Have to,
no matter what, and you got to bring new talent to the table, because we can't just keep going down the same road that we've been down. And I think for me, I've always been a team player, high energy, outgoing. I forced myself to do accounting. I'm not by nature a CPA or accountant. I was hustling jewelry in a box with $10,000 in cash, traveling across with, and a partner for a business partner actually, I feel, taught me that hustle. I didn't have the sales hustle that I did have until I met a particular individual who grew up with it, and he brought me in as a partner on that jewelry business, and I watched him and how he was able to be that salesman to link with the manufacturer, and we're like 19 years old. You know what I mean? We're, and I don't know how to do taxes. I don't know, a cash basis from accrual basis. I don't know, income statements. I don't know capital. I don't know how to grow this business. I got some ideas, and I'm going for it. And I'm making a little money, and I know I got to sell this weekend, and I can pay the next couple weeks, and I can go next weekend, because my parents are not giving me any money, man. I got a roof over my head, and I can get some food, but that's it. Ain't nothing else coming, and I know that. So, but I also, could go back to sacking groceries, and that's what I was doing. Sack, I'm pretty good at it too. And so I felt like that was kind of a good career, and like all good things, business and friendships, a lot of times don't last.
For sure.
In 20 years, it's taught me that too. Even in that first small business, it fell apart and never talked to him again. The friendship deal and we weren't even making any money. There wasn't even anything to fight over. I mean, seriously. I mean, we got nothing, but we found a way to mess it up. And to let life intermingle and commingle in little business deals, and just watched it just fall apart, and boom, it was gone, and everything that we had done that got me. And I said, I'd actually sat down with his grandfather, who was a tribal elder in Laguna, and him and his wife said, we were here before the railroads came in. So back in 2000s, they were in their late 80s. And so I sat down with him, and he sat me down. And he told me one thing. He's like, look, before you run off and finish all this jewelry business with my nephew and do all this, just do me one thing. He goes, you go finish your education and go down and finish that path. And then you decide that this life is for you, on this path and what you want to do. And
oh man,
so and I'm looking over this mesa with these two elders, and they're like, I was here before this railroad came in here. And so I hated
perspective.
That was how that I felt like that hustle helped me sell my brand. I didn't know that then, but that's what I was doing, was helping to say, how do I tell a story? How do I be a brand? How do I get behind continuing to and eventually I just chose my path, my brand, and decided to, stick with school as I'd always been. Continue to go down that path. Didn't know I was going to go into accounting. I actually was going to be a lawyer, had thoughts of all that and everything. Was kind of, wanted to try and pursue that path. But my brother did some accounting. I seen him making a little money. Sounded good. because I'm out there.
And you just picked it.
Oh, look, I'm about to graduate. I need to make $40,000.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make $40,000, and I'm trying to graduate.
Yeah.
And it sure be nice to, after 7 years of school and driving around in jankety cars and holy socks, man, to get a job and, something decent.
Be able to make a little bit.
And start this thing we call career or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so, that was.
No, that's cool, man.
That's how I kind of fell naturally into it, and then took it for what it was and kept pushing myself, even though I hated accounting.
Yeah.
I hate that stuff.
Yeah.
Man, but
it's a great skill to have now,
It is now.
It's paying off now because, it's a crucial part of business, but like you said, there's two sides to the coin. The numbers never lie, and you got to look deep into them and really understand them. But then there's the people side, and also that hustle and grit that you have also. And also what I feel like is very interesting about you is your risk appetite.
Yeah.
A lot of CEOs, especially that have a financial background, don't have the same risk appetite like you.
What am I going to do? Go back stacking groceries, man? I just went to my house. I can live in my mom's basement.
Yeah.
My room's still there.
Yeah. So, can you still go there, though? That's the question.
Yeah.
Are you still welcome there?
It'd be tough, man. It'd be tough.
Like, Dominic, get out of here.
Hey, Mom, what'd I say about the grocery? I thought you would. Meatloaf. No, yeah. And funny to that point, I was the CFO of the Saginaw Chippewa Indian Tribal Government.
Yeah.
The casinos, and I had just got my contract renewed, spent 5 years with the wonderful tribe and nation, and put together a great plan to expand their casino, remodel their casino. And then, lo and behold, this opportunity to interview for CEO popped up, and I'm like, look, I just got my contract renewed.
Yeah.
I'm a CFO for one of the biggest tribal governments and gaming. Usually you're either tribal government or you're gaming. You're not government and enterprise accountant. Okay? You're one or the other, but that job was both, and that's why I took it for that opportunity. And then, when I got there, then it was like, look, just got my contract renewed. You know, and it's like, am I really going to tear this thing up?
Right.
And come over here for
once
a CEO
again, that's
job.
A risk. That's a risk.
With some people I don't know.
Yeah.
In a business that is shut down from COVID, and everybody's looking around the table like, and it's your first job as CEO, and you got to come in and build the vision, the task, and the crew, and the community, and the nation, and you got to put together, this type of strategic plan, a $200 million plan out the gates, and come in, and I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. I was just all pop. I must have been reading your book, you got get up, mindset, action. Are you here? Them YouTube videos, you get up and he's like, today is your day. You are going to get up and you are going to kick some butt. Everybody around you is going to be. I must have listened to that and believed it or something.
Well, David Goggins?
I'm just
David Goggins fan?
I'm going to go and risk my entire career and throw it all away for a first time ever to CEO role to come over here.
Which is crazy. Not a lot of people would do that, man. They would take the sure bet and stick where they're at.
There was nothing wrong with me continuing down that path. I'm sure I would have been down the path to eventually be CEO there too.
Yeah, for sure.
In fact, I had actually interviewed for it.
Yeah.
And I lost by one vote. And so, so I actually did. And so I think that's where I got that. I tasted that blood.
Yeah,
I was
like,
man, I was right there. And I had a
this could happen, right?
I did multiple times be put in the CEO role because they were sick or out or interim. And so I sat at the table and looked at everybody around me, and I was nervous for a second. And I'm like, let's get to work.
Yeah,
we know what we need to do. I've been around this. We know what needs to be done. And so
that's cool, man.
Yeah,
that's amazing. That's amazing. Before we get out of here, man,
immerse yourself in a place where bold ideas are sought after, where all are encouraged to bring their personal flourish. Here, innovation is a way of life. In this city, the beat flows. Together, we're dancing to the rhythm. Forward. Now, it's your turn to grab hold of that energy, where you'll remember not just the meals, the celebrations, or the uncommon coasts. What you'll remember is how we made you feel. Come experience Milwaukee, where fresh meets fearless every day.
What does Milwaukee mean to you?
For me, forever changed me, right? This is the first big city I've ever been in. I've always, now that I looked over my 25-year career, I've been in rural Indian country on reservations. I was living on the Mexico border with the Kickapoo traditional tribe of Texas on the Rio Grande River, man. I mean, and I was in the middle of Michigan. I was in the middle of Kansas and cornfields. And then, boom, I'm in your beautiful city. It's vibrant. It's full of color and life and entertainment and championship town. So for me, it's the smiles. It's the, it's the attitude. It's, I think it's the love and the hope that we want Milwaukee to continue to be on a upward mobility, to have better education, safe streets, housing, that we can be a community across all of our lines, that we can continue to share in this beautiful waterfront. To me, there's so much beautiful waterfront beach and real estate that I think as the world continues to evolve and you see warming climates as it may be, I mean, being around water and this type of scenery, and this is a gorgeous part of the country, no doubt. So I think it's an absolute gold mine. I think it's a beautiful place to live, and I think people are going to want to live here in the future. And it's our job to create a city that is inviting with, appropriate development for our communities, for the kids, for the youth, and parks, and everything that is about this championship town, to give them the belief that if they believe in themselves, they can be anything you want to be, and it don't matter where you come from or what you're doing. That's it, man. That's the love I feel and what I've seen from the city.
And I feel like it's constantly growing, man. It's constantly growing, and it's going in that direction. You see the city every year; it just seems like it just elevates, which is amazing thing. What's the top 3 places to visit in Milwaukee?
Yeah, for me, I think it's Bucks and Potawatomi, and for me, it's just Summerfest in the lakefront.
Okay. What's your favorite restaurant?
Yeah, for me, it's really my own. Dream Dance. Dream Dance.
Hey, shout it out, man.
I mean, our Dream Dance Steakhouse is lit, man. I mean, I got some of the best chefs, and I know because we fly in some of the best cuts. You're from Chicago. Everything's organic, and I got a guy with 25 years of MGM casino experience in the background that is making sure tip to toe that this is one of the best experiences in the country. And so ask Omar. I ain't been down to Carnivore in a year and a half. He's like, where are you at?
Shout out Omar.
Omar, sorry, I'll be back one of these days. But when you got your own steakhouse, it's hard to leave. So
yeah. I don't blame you one bit for that. If I had my own steakhouse, I feel like I would go there too.
Right.
Well, thank you so much for being on here, man. I mean, this is just an absolute honor to be. I mean, there's so many different other directions we could have gone into, but I feel like this is just scratching the surface. We might have to do a part 2 at some point.
I like it.
Because I feel like we could go really deep into a lot of things. And I always tell people that, to get to these positions of like where you're at and where other people aspire to be, they have to unlock their self-awareness and then also be able to really evaluate their current circle of who they're around and then figure out how to get into new ones. And ultimately, you have to change your circle to change your life. Like, there's no other way to really do it. Skills and brain can get you only so far. Other people have what you want, and that's just the truth. Like the opportunities that you were presented, like you didn't just show up here in this seat doing this stuff by brute force and just piling right through. It took a little bit of trust. It took a little bit of relationship building. And it took the ability to actually change your circle. So I love your story. I think you dropped a lot of things that people don't know about you, which is absolutely incredible. So I think also people got to know you a little bit more, to build a little bit more trust. And I can't wait next what you do in this city, man. I think it's just absolutely incredible.
Well, likewise, your ability as a, on-air host is, man, it's phenomenal. I see why you're successful and what you're doing, and I like to be around people like you, man.
Man.
For real. So congrats
I
to you as
appreciate
well,
it, man.
We're here. I think we're going to do more.
Awesome, man. Cool. Thank you so much, man.
Absolutely.
So everybody else, like, comment, share the podcast. Please share us with somebody that needs to hear it. Don't be selfish. Do it. Share the podcast. Give it out to somebody. And don't forget you could change your circle to change your life. Until the next episode, we're out. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell for more amazing content that we're going to be putting out. And don't forget, you can change your circle to change your life.